What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, and today I'm going to be trying out something a little bit different. I'm going to be looking for feedback from you guys, seeing if this is the type of YouTube content you're looking for. I'm going to be doing a series called The Ravens Rant, where I do basically on Thursday, Friday, when I'm typically not putting out much content, doing some discussion questions, giving you guys my thoughts. Whether it's a topic that someone brought up in a film room, whether it's a Twitter rant or something like that, and then kind of giving my thoughts and getting yours down in the comments. So if this is something you guys want to see, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here, and drop a comment down below because I want to hear your guys' answer to these questions. I'm going to give you my thoughts. And the question that we're going to start with is, who stepped up the most in the month of December during the Baltimore Ravens push for the number one seed? Obviously, going into this month, they had a gauntlet. The Rams, the Jaguars, the 49ers, and the Dolphins, four playoff teams, well, should be playoff teams, four very good teams, and two of which, one that they're battling for the one seed and the other that's the NFC's one seed. So this was a gauntlet. And so for the purpose of this discussion, I took away Lamar Jackson as a possible answer. It's the obvious answer. He secured the MVP. Just look at his numbers in the month of December. Obviously went 4-0. Threw 64%, 1,060 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He added 36 carries for 247 yards and protected the ball well with no fumbles. So we're going to just remove Lamar. It's too obvious. Talk about the rest of the team, the guys that stood up. So I'm going to give you three of my thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. So let's start with the big uglies, the guys that you're typically coming to Road Graders to see, and that's the big boys on the Baltimore Ravens offensive line. We could zero in and say the tackles, but honestly, I think all five guys, including the two backup tackles who have been rotating in, deserve credit for this one. Lamar Jackson threw the most passes in the month of December and was sacked the least. So sack-wise, he was much more protected, but just overall pressure rate dropped. Their pass blocking efficiency climbed. I think they went from the 17th spot up to the 12th spot through the month of December. So just making big strides there in pass blocking, and then adding a little bit of run blocking too. I still think it's an area where they need to take a couple steps, and I think you guys mostly agree with that in the film rooms we've done on the offensive line. But the pass protection being the priority, and that's how Baltimore has been beating these teams. It's been through the air. So obviously pass protection, keeping Lamar upright, keeping him comfortable, huge thing that we want to see, and the offensive line has been doing their part. Getting into the second one, taking a look at a guy like Isaiah Likely. My goodness, think of this, going into the bye week, so through the first 13 games, whatever it was, Isaiah Likely had a stat line of 13 catches on 18 targets for 124 yards and 0 touchdowns. Now, obviously, that involves a number of weeks where he's uninvolved because he's splitting time with Mark Andrews, and Pat Ricard obviously playing his too. So this is a big filling in for Mark Andrews' piece, but that's what you want in a backup tight end. And he has done more than step up to the challenge. In the 4 games in the month of December, out of the bye, where he was able to adjust to life as a full-time starter, Likely stat line was 15 catches on 20 targets for 251 yards and 4 touchdowns. So Lamar Jackson loves to feed tight ends. Obviously, losing Mark Andrews, huge loss, but Isaiah Likely has stepped up in spades, making big plays, using his big body, his yak. And one thing that I think's really progressed throughout the year was his run blocking. I was actually a little disappointed with him in the month of September. Some ugly run blocking snaps, and now he just looks confident. He looks more physical, basically showing the consistency of the flashes he showed in his rookie year. So Isaiah Likely has stepped up this month. Last game, obviously getting those 2 touchdowns, including the beautiful one-hand catch. Huge piece of why the Ravens were able to absolutely stomp the Miami Dolphins. And then taking a look at the last one now, I know it's a little weird because he missed the last game, but it's Kyle Hamilton for me. He's been my number one guy in terms of who stepped up the most. He proved to me that he's the MVP of the defense, even though they did shut down the Miami Dolphins. The area where the Dolphins had the most success early on in that game was attacking the flats, which is Kyle Hamilton's office when he's in the slot, and attacking the middle of the field, outside of the box. They didn't really work the sidelines. It was really strange. I'm not sure why, but really kind of targeting areas where Kyle Hamilton has the most upside as a player. So just that really stood out to me. Seeing them attack an area where Kyle Hamilton isn't on the field. It seemed like that was something they wanted to do. So, in just the 3 games he did have in the month of December, he had 19 tackles, including 2 for a loss, 4 pass deflections, and the 2 interceptions. Obviously, was absolutely lights out, shutting down the 49ers. He was so crucial to the defensive performance there. But that's my number one guy. Now there's a ton of honorable mentions. You could say Zay Flowers. You could say Roquan Smith, especially after that last game. You could even take a look at a guy like a little bit more, under the surface of a Travis Jones, who's really stepped up with a number of plays. Even a Brent Urban, a guy who's really stepped up in the month of December down the stretch. So there's a number of guys. Brandon Stevens as well. I think he would have probably snuck into one of these spots had he played last week. Ironic, I know Kyle Hamilton was in there. But just a number of guys stepping up. Even Ronald Darby last week. What a game from him. So this is one of those things where it just feels different with this team. There's a vibe of guys stepping up to the occasion, rising to the occasion. The best players are being the best players for the Baltimore Ravens, including their quarterback. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more, let me know. Just if this is something, if you're like, nah, I don't go to Road Graders for this, just let me know and I won't put them out. But want to try it out, and obviously drop a comment down below and let's have a discussion. Who do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Who do you think? Be good to yourselves, be good to each other,